If you have not like and subscribe, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click that bell button so that you get all the updates. I make a lot of video about how to and what not, and discuss about companies, anything about stocks and trading. So let's get it started. So today's topic is what's the theme? What's the theme for the 2021? So I think 2020 was one of the greatest year for the stock market, and you should always kind of look back and kind of go through your trade, like what did you do well, what you did not, and how do you improve yourself, right? So always try to improve a little bit every time. So um, 2020 was one of the best year. I think like QQQ had the year return of about 50%, and SPY was 14 or something. I'm not quite sure, but had a great run up, like literally from June July, from 233 to we are at like 314 315 all-time high for QQQ. And I think SPY is pretty up there, all-time high as well. Great year, almost from. So if you picked up any time, like you did extremely well. That's amazing year. So what's gonna be theme for the 2021? So one thing I think is, again, the theme probably gonna be same, right? So I definitely believe like we'll get a lot of more traction on the e-commerce, and I will kind of go through some of the picks I have for 2021. And this is not for a short terms. I'm looking for a long terms, year and two. But what's gonna drive in 2021? And most of the stock I already own, and some stocks I may be adding it. So let's get it started. One thing is 2021, I do believe we're gonna do exceptionally well for the e-commerce ads advertisement. That's only increasing, and they have a lot of opportunity on the lot of emerging markets, like China, India, South America, and a lot of those countries like Southeast Asia. So I'm gonna pick some of those stocks for those. Beside that, I have other teams. So I have as regular cloud tech. So cloud will be there, and cloud will be healthcare, e-commerce, and payments. So I have this. So I'm gonna kind of go over. So let's get started with the cloud. So we're gonna start with CRM. CRM had been sold off pretty big from the high of 264. I think we did reach almost 300s, and right now I would say like 20-25% down. If you look at the moving average, we are at like 150 days, looks like. So I think it's pretty good time actually. If you look at a pretty good time to pick up around 2020 VR, and if you look at that, it's kind of holding a good support around 2020. I did grab some shares. I have some leaps on this. Long term, I believe in CRM. I think they will bounce back. The this downturn was acquisition of work Slack, but I think it will just help them in the longer run to compete against Microsoft, being a bigger company, and they already have tons of products. So this is one of my pick, and I think this is a good time to enter too. I mean, if you are really long, it's a great time to enter the position in CRM. It's pretty it's on pretty much 20-25% off from the all-time high. So, and right at 150 days moving average as well. So what else? So the second is Docu is great. Just the COVID accelerated the use of DocuSign, and I think it's not gonna. One thing you can see that it's been ranging in this box for a while. Then right now it's in other box. It's right at support. If you look at that, I may actually add for the swing as well. But this is a long-term play, and I think they are growing at like 30-40%. Great revenue. Their margin is awesome, as with any cloud, and I definitely believe in their long term. So Docu is my another pick. So I have Datadog and Net. Docu is a little bit above, yeah, a little bit above 150 days, but I think it's again great time to add. So next is what was the next? I think Net, right? Datadog, Datadog, Datadog. I've been telling a lot of times to get in Net. Uh, I actually picked up right around this times, like when it was in 150 days, and the great runoff, and seems like it's selling off. I still have, and I think we may kind of go back, so that would be good time to. But again, still, if you are accumulating, still it's pretty good time to add on Datadog. I think long terms, I definitely see Datadog going much higher than what we have. So that's Datadog. What else we have? Datadog, Net and Crowd. Net, Cloudflare. I have a lot of leaves on nets. I picked right around this. I think I picked somewhere around here, and I also picked right around when the all-time break that happened on the October, and ever since it has run a crazy run, and I think net had a nice pullback. Not quite. I think it's still super extended. I would love to see it's around 60, 65 area. I'll probably add more if we ever see that. But so far, I'm still okay. And they're growing at like 40, 50% as well. Everything is going cloud, and you need to speed up things, and only their adoption will increase. And it looks like their RS is pretty good as well. So what else? Now finally, crowd. Crowd, as you guys probably tell me, like I literally made a video a few days ago. The box, like it was in this lower box, then kind of upper box, and kind of heading to this box and kind of hanging around. It had some sell off, but kind of coming back up. I definitely see the stocks kind of going higher this year's. uh, Cloud, as more people is going mobile, companies are going mobiles, you need the need for cloud security. And CrowdStrike are number one on endpoint. Basically, they are really easier to adopt, and a lot of companies are adopting. They have a good, really excellent retention rate. The margin is great, so they were literally $50. I think $30 up to the March lows, and way extended right now. So long term, probably not gonna add. But if it pulls back to 150 area, that would be excellent entry point in my opinion. So I have a shares, and I think I have a leap too. What else? Okay, now let's go to the healthcare. Healthcare. So Puton. Puton had a crazy run. I think I'm not gonna add right now, but yeah, I did grab some Puton, and I was like literally every day. If you come to my live stream, I was just screaming Puton to get in around this area. If you got in, like that's almost 50% up from like a bit literally 2 months. That's a great return. A little overextended. I would not really add on, but I think long terms the RS is really high. Long term, I think they did acquire one of the companies, which probably gonna add to their numbers once the merger completes, which probably gonna take a quarter or two, but really good on the long. T Rock. I think this is excellent company for the long run. 20 to 30 billion market cap, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, 20, 28, so 30. And look at that, it's right below 150 days. This is a great stock, great story. So I would literally, it's a great time to add right now. Actually, if you are looking for leaps, or if you are looking for stocks, I think this will be a great stocks for 2021 and beyond. So those for the healthcare, right? Healthcare e-coms. I think one thing I missed is kind of EV plays. So of course we have Tesla, we have Neo. Those are the big players. We might have some new players coming in, but right now I would think Tesla and Neo will lead the way. So that's we kind of covered, right? So I think this is great time now. If you look at the e-commerce, SE, Millie, Ozen, small portion, and Facebook and Shop e-commerce ads. So uh, I think e-commerce will only increase. There's no way it's gonna decrease. I've not added like Amazon. I still I own shares, but I think Amazon still has a lot of room. But it's just like I think I will see a much better risk rewards on other companies than Amazon. But yeah, they're a great company if you want to add to, and I think they're fairly valued. Okay, SE. SE, I added around 130, 140. and holding them ever since, and I'm literally like buying the dip. I definitely see they have a lot of rooms. They are like growing crazily in Southeast Asia. The market cap is 71 billion, but I definitely see them 300-400 within few years if they kind of keep growing. And they've been really good chart, right? They never had a massive, like any massive dip. They kind of slowly really strong uptrend, and even if you just draw a trend line and just get the, it's kind of holding it perfectly, right? So bounce back then pull back, right? So I think I'm keep adding it, and probably if you do that, that will help you too. So that SC and Millie. Millie is based off Argentina, kind of. They have office in the U.S. too. I grabbed them. Only thing I wish is I should have grabbed a lot more. I did a study about. I saw that they had a good support around this area, 950, 960. So I grabbed almost all my shares below below $1,000, and within like a few months, it's all almost like 60, 70%, right? So sometimes you will think like great stocks, right? They will never pull back. And if the story is good, if you like the stocks, you just have to pull the trigger. Just believe in your thesis. And this was one of the really good return stock, like almost, you know, um, almost 65% within like a really short time. And I definitely believe it's a little overextended to buy in right now, but great stock. And if it ever gets pulled back, probably I'll add more. Started a position in Ozone. The number looks good, and it's a recent IPO. There's not much, no base, but it's been holding, hovering around this 40. Seems like 40 area, kind of holding a good support. So if it holds, probably good to add. But a lot of times I've seen this IPO just make a base like a cup and handle, cup like formation, and then blast off. Let's see, probably like we need to see their numbers and whatnot, but from my initial research, there's the growth was really increasing. A lot of people's kind of doubling down on visits. So this is basically ecom for Russia. So Russia is pretty big market, and yeah. So that was John. Facebook and Facebook. I'm literally for the big mega pack cap. I think Facebook is the most undervalued. It has a lot of room. It's almost at 150, so I think it's a great time to add for long terms. I do hold their shares, and I definitely see it's like 350, 400 within a year or so. Great company, great products, a lot of things, and the size is huge, and they are in e-commerce as well. So it's a great story. Shop. Shop is one of the biggest growth story this year, and yeah, look at that. It is a little bit overextended. 900 area was really good, but this is something to watch on. And if you ever see it's kind of dropping in 150 days or even 100 days, maybe you can pull the trigger. But Shop has literally kind of it's competing with Amazon basically right now. They are doing their own warehouse, a lot of merchants on the platforms, and it's just increasing, increasing, increasing every year. They are just beating their own records on the sales and the merchants and revenue, and great growth stories. So that's there. Payment, Square, PayPal. I think Square's. I like Square better than PayPal. It is overextended. I would not really add it right here. Maybe wait for a little pullback. But great stocks going into 2021. They have tons of investment in Bitcoin as well. I believe big in Bitcoin. And if you look at that, PayPal is almost like 200 or probably more in market cap. They're still below 100 billion. Still, that's a huge, and you are paying a premium for them. But uh, PayPal has a lot more revenue, and but I think Square definitely changing the game. And also I heard like Cash App is doing really good on tradings and a lot of bitcoins and a lot of things going on there. uh, PayPal again, great company, a little bit overextended. I don't really add it, but it's a great company right there. I think we kind of talked about Tesla and Neo. I definitely see EV will probably pick up. Their numbers gonna be great, and right now they just hit their numbers for they could not quite meet the 500 mark, but they were almost close. So that's a good news. But as always, Tesla is mostly sell the news, so probably gonna sell off a little bit. And it is overextended, but man, Tesla, if you look at that, it was literally overextended from like 200 levels. So it's a Tesla. But if it gets a dip, probably you can add a small quantity in Neo. Last but not the least is Neo. I have a shares of Neo. I had a lot of lips. I sold way too early when it was in 30, but the numbers are great. I think there's a sales increase almost 100%, uh, and it is getting a lot more tractions. I think they are selling almost 100,000 in 2020. So I'm betting they will probably do 200 plus in 2021. And also they are kind of thinking of expanding in Europe and other countries, so there's going to be competition too, which is good for consumers. Probably bad for Tesla. Well, you can say good too, more people adopting EV, so that's a good news overall. But I think if EV gonna keep track, I think Neo will be the leader after Tesla, of course. But yeah, that's it for today. So if you have question, comment, or anything, let me know. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks.